with me and Mike, and in a couple of minutes we'll introduce a special guest. I want to remind you that we'll be putting this on our website at www.oasisyuma.com. It'll be right there under the front page, right underneath the sermon title from last week. You'll see a big video spot there. It will be on our Facebook page. We'll have that posted later on. And then as well as if you go to our YouTube channel, and that's Oasis Church of Yuma, all one word, then you can, on the right side, I believe there's a big red button that will say subscribe to that. And anytime we do a podcast in the future, people will get that automatically sent to your email. So we got lots of announcements before we kind of get into what we talked about yesterday morning. And Mike, we got a movie night coming up on Saturday. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
It'll be Saturday, 6:30 p.m. We're going to be watching Over the Hedge.
Over the Hedge.
Sweet little raccoon movie, little furry animals. But it should be good. We'll have free popcorn for the kids or families, whoever. Just go ahead and bring blankets, pillows, lawn chairs, however you want to do, because we're going to have a gigantic screen set up on the front lawn, projected movies. So we're going to have snacks and stuff like that for a small fee. But as for the most part, everything is free.
It sounds like one of those events that, again, we talked about yesterday. That's kind of one of those low-risk events where it's easy to invite somebody to come along with you. It's a kind of a certainly won't be a message on that evening other than just the movie and a great time there on the lawn. So
I'm sure the raccoon has a message to give.
I'm sure he does.
I'm just saying.
Over the Hedge, right?
Over the Hedge.
Animated movie, all for the family, right?
Yes, it is.
All right, looking forward to it. Now, Penny, we got something coming up on the night before Valentine's. So what is that?
Yes, there is going to be murder here at Oasis Church, believe it or not, a murder mystery. And for $8 a person, you can come to Oasis Church. You can have a delicious dinner, a nice dinner. There's going to be appetizers, there's going to be dinner, there's going to be dessert, and a little murder is going to be solved here at Oasis Church. One's going to be committed and solved all in the same night, and I think the person will probably live to tell about it. So, yes, $8 a person, and child care will be provided because we're asking that everybody be 16 and over that attends this dinner. So, tickets are still available. The deadline to buy tickets is next Sunday, and the tickets are going fast. So please purchase your tickets by next Sunday. You can buy them in the Welcome Center, or you can come to the office and purchase your tickets. You must have a ticket to get in that door because we are purchasing enough food for each person, and seating is limited. So,
all right, murder at Oasis Church.
Yes, and it is called Subject Hollywood. So it will be interesting. Pastor Bob lets down his hair, and he is quite involved in the murder mystery. So it'll be fun.
I'm not in it this year, but I know that two others are.
How did you dodge that bullet?
Well, I'm the pastor.
You won't want to miss it. It's fun. It's
right.
fun. We have a good time at these murder mysteries. So.
All right, that's a couple things that are coming up on the near future for Oasis. In a couple weeks, we have our 101 class, and I just saw about 6 or 7 more people signed up. So that's going to be a class of about 40 people. On the 15th at 1 o'clock, we have child care again provided for that, and also as well as a meal. And then for the 201 class, based on yesterday's response, that is going to be a pretty large class too, on how to grow in your relationship with Jesus Christ. And that was kind of what we talked about yesterday. I want to introduce somebody to you. Don Vickers is now works for our association, and he is here this morning, and I'm going to invite him to come to our table and ask him. He wasn't here yesterday. He was visiting another church, but Don's been around the block a little while. Good morning, Don.
Hello. Is that another way to say I'm old or what?
It's another way, yeah. You're older than I am.
Okay, just barely.
Yeah, by a month or so.
Younger than some of us.
And younger than some of us, yeah. And a lot younger than others. Hey, Don, yesterday we were talking about growing in our faith, and let me just throw this out there. You weren't here. You haven't heard the message. What do you think is one of the biggest hindrances in believers growing in their relationship with God?
Oh wow! I think I think for me, it's me. I think it's you think about the pursuit of things that are temporary, here and now versus eternal things. We invest so much time and energy in things that really don't make a difference, and we allow those to crowd out our time for God. And I think that's probably the biggest thing for what I see.
interesting. That's kind of a lot about what we talked about. Penny, what was your take on yesterday? What was something that you took from yesterday?
Well, that we can never stop growing, that we have to continually keep ourselves in the Word. One thing you reminded us of is that we must memorize Scripture, that we have no excuse not to memorize Scripture. I always say to myself, I have a terrible memory, I can't do it. But then you reminded us if we can memorize words to songs and lyrics to songs, then why can't we memorize Scripture? So I challenged myself yesterday to get up this morning and start doing that. Now, don't test me today, please, but I'm going to start that. That is my challenge for this year, to memorize more Scripture. So
good. What about you, Mike? You were here, third service.
Well, when I was able to attend, it was good. Now, the thing that caught me most was the talking about the friendships that you keep and how they can build you up or tear you down. Because that's what we've been talking about in youth ministry as well, is having those friendships, those Cheeto friends. If you're in youth, you know what I'm talking about. If not, sorry, you should probably check out a youth service. But it's who do you let in your back seat? Because your friends have a tendency to pull you one way or another. So you have to make sure you keep those good, fruitful, accountable friendships. That was the thing that kind of stuck out for me the most, because that's what we've been talking about in youth.
Yeah. For me, it was still, and again, I'm the guy that gets to stand up there and deliver the message. But as I tried to talk with you yesterday, it's a choice to grow, and I'm going to grow if I want to grow, and if I don't want to grow, there's enough worldly distractions out there to keep you from growing. And just like I said, we're all at different stages, but yet all of us are asked to grow in our relationship with Christ. And I hope that you did take the supplemental material and you began to look at that. There's a lot on that piece of paper. There's reasons of why some people never grow up, and there's some important factors to why we don't grow up. And then on the back of the sheet, there's kind of the root issues of why we don't grow. And the last part of it was the results of not growing up. And for me, when I read the results of not growing up, and when I saw on there that I wouldn't experience God the way He wanted me to experience Him, that I would somehow be not satisfied in my relationship with Him. I don't want that. I want to grow in my relationship with God. I want to experience Him in my fullness. And so it's important that we grow.
right.
Well, Don, what else do you think on this topic?
Well, the whole idea that God created us for a purpose, for His purposes. And if we don't grow in our relationship, we miss out on all that He really created us for. It's not just, again, the here and now. It's not for my hobby. It's not for my temporary relationships. It's really for a relationship with Him. And so the more we invest with Him, the more He reveals that purpose to us, and we're able to live that out, just like you were saying.
I want to remind you also that we're coming up on a really busy summer. Summer is huge at Oasis Church. We've got camps going on, and we've got a DR mission trip that's coming up. We've got an informational meeting coming up in the middle of February. It's not too early to start planning for the summer, and what I mean by that is for some of our families, you might have a child or two children, and two of them go to children's camp, and one goes to youth camp, and you might be thinking about going on a mission trip. So we need to start setting some money aside and planning for that, because the summer will be here before you know it. I already heard by the end of this week we're going to be in the 85s, okay? And it's not even March yet, and so maybe we're in for a hot summer. No?
No. Can we turn on the AC in the church?
Yeah, no AC yet. Anyway, this is our first podcast, and let us know what you think. Give us some feedback on it. There's a place where you can make some comments, and I hope to do this next week. We're going to have special guests next week. We're going to get our elders to come in, and we're going to do the podcast right after the message on Sunday, so you're going to get a chance to see their feedback next week when we talk about a faith. Look, now we've talked about a faith that saves, a faith that knows, a faith that grows, a faith that shows, and next week we're going to talk about a faith that goes. Something about having a relationship with Jesus that's not meant to be kept a secret. Hope to see you on Sunday. Remember, 3 services next week. Starts 8:30, 10 o'clock, and 11:30. See you Sunday.